A note from the CEO of Patreon. Okay, so let me see. All right, let me go through this and figure out what's actually going on. So the first step is I want to look at the police response. Where is the actual response? Is it this one? Is it this one here? The top one? Okay. It's very quiet. You subbed to him, didn't you? Yeah, but this is it's not on his channel. Turn your sound way up, he whispers. Okay.
My name is Cameron Paul, and I am the Chief of Police for the American Fork Police Department. I'd like to address the members of our American Fork and Cedar Hills community regarding some videos currently circulating on social media that have been presented in a way that calls into question some of the actions.
The strategy is for it to be done in an ASMR voice, so the people fall asleep before they can get mad.
Of our department.
Smart.
These videos are affiliated with an influencer on YouTube and other social media platforms and stem from a dispute involving Legos that originates in the state of Oregon.
Yeah.
In this message, we will be presenting 4 different cases and police responses from our police department, and will provide a detailed overview as to what happened and what our actions were.
Okay. Number 1.
On March 8th, 2026, an American Fork resident, Joshua Johnson, requested phone contact from the American Fork Police Department.
That was the
regarding
owner
a
of Bricks
suspicious
and Minifigs.
individual who had earlier arrived at his home.
Suspicious
Officer
individual.
Tonga with the American Fork Police Department contacted Mr. Johnson by phone. Mr. Johnson reported that earlier that same day, a suspicious male had been at his residence. He stated the male
suspicious male? That's UPS.
was wearing a baseball cap with a UPS logo taped onto it. Mr. Johnson also reported that a suspicious package had been left at the residence.
From John Smith?
He explained that what appeared suspicious was that the shipping label did not look legitimate. The package was later determined to contain rubber ducks.
Great.
Mr. Johnson reported to Officer Tonga that he believed the male was an individual named Benjamin Snyder, who, according to Johnson, operates a YouTube channel. Mr. Johnson further explained that civil proceedings were occurring in Oregon and stated that he believed Snyder was sending individuals to his home to harass him. While Officer Tonga was still on the phone with Mr. Johnson, Johnson reported that 2 females had exited a vehicle and were walking toward his property. He also reported that a male driver remained inside the vehicle. Officers Tonga...
Which is because he was trespassed at the current period of time, and he was trying to serve him with papers. If this is what I'm thinking it is.
And Richardson responded to the area. Officer Tonga...
So even inside, if this is it, right? So like even inside of the police explaining it, they're basically verifying that Ben did nothing wrong because he didn't leave the vehicle.
Contacted the driver, who identified himself as Benjamin Adams. Although Adams initially stated he was there for unrelated reasons, he later admitted he had been filming Mr. Johnson while Johnson was walking around the exterior of his residence. Adams told Officer Tonga that an individual named Benjamin Snyder had flown into Utah on March 7th, 2026, and had contacted Adams requesting assistance with filming.
Yeah, I could just watch Ben's video for it, because this is a pretty long video, and I honestly don't want to watch the entire police justification for it. Like, I'm just going to look at his video because it's also shorter, and so, like, the rest of it's just bullshit. Let's just look at this. And also, the reason why is that this way we will be completely caught up with this situation, and I won't be, like, kind of being like, oh, okay, this happened yesterday, that happened the day before. Let's go ahead and do this then. Yeah, this is better. Let's take a look at it. Here we go.
The American Fork Police Department has responded to the video I made about them.
I am the Chief of Police for the American Fork Police Department. I'd like to address the members of our American Fork and Cedar Hills community regarding some videos currently circulating on social media.
So now I will offer a response to their response. There's a lot of new information in this response that I've been wanting to get for a long time, so we'll go over that first.
All right.
One of the main questions in my video was, why did I get swatted for stealing the Legos when this wasn't a mystery to the police officers, and they knew that I didn't steal the Legos, that Josh stole the Legos.
He basically stole a $200,000 collection of Star Wars Legos.
But still, why did they raid my house for stealing the Legos when
with literally no evidence?
Overwhelming amount of evidence that Josh stole the Legos. When I requested
it's not even that Josh stole it. It's that there's no, as far as I know, the police can't just raid your house for no reason. They have to have probable cause to have a search warrant to go in there and do that. Where's the probable cause for this?
Body cam footage of this to try to find the answers myself. They redacted everything, and they claimed it was to protect the victims.
It's ridiculous.
However, one of my friends set up a GoPro as we were getting swatted, and we caught the entire conversation on camera.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
For 3 months, the police department's answer has been, this redaction is important because it protects Josh, the victim of this case. However, we can clearly see that the police are looking for Legos, and they saw no Legos. And they redacted this because they were embarrassed that they made such a stupid decision to swat the wrong person. They were so embarrassed of swatting my house for stealing the Legos that in all of the police reports, it is completely redacted. The police department wants this information hidden so bad that they're willing to break the law to hide this from everyone. The only
What the fuck?
reason I know about it is because the receipt I got the night I was released from jail and my friend's GoPro that was recording. So even though I've been asking them for 3 months why I got swatted, they finally came up with an answer, which is the Airbnb host told them that I stole the Legos.
During contact with the Airbnb owner, the owner reported
How the fuck would they know that?
During conversations about possible stolen Legos. Specifically, officers wrote in the search warrant affidavit, the homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possibly stolen Lego toys they had taken. Based on that,
that's a different they.
Information, officers added a request within the search warrant affidavit seeking authorization to also search for and seize possible stolen property, including Lego merchandise. 4th District Judge Roger W. Griffin reviewed and approved the search warrant.
I always like giving people the benefit of the doubt, and I will take the police officer's word on this, but something fishy is going on here, and everything can just be cleared up if you unredact the audio and let everyone see the truth. Also, after we got raided and the police officers found no Legos, all of this footage has been redacted too. And my guess is if the police unredact this footage, we will find out the answers once and for all.
Well, if you cross-reference the audio to something that it wasn't attached to and it matched up perfectly, and then the audio wasn't related to something that was confidential or private or compromising, the odds are they just simply redacted it in order to save face. That's logically what happened. I mean, I don't see how anybody else could come to that conclusion besides that.
While we were getting swatted, one of the police officers decided to injure me for absolutely no reason. He claims it's because I was trying to make a fast movement.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that.
Look at that fat boy on the pavement.
But when we replay the footage, you can clearly see I was not making any fast movements. However, the police department has an answer to this.
During Snyder's detention, Lieutenant Adamson took hold of Snyder's right arm. Lieutenant Adamson later reported that he felt Snyder tense his arm, at which point Adamson moved Snyder's right arm behind his back to place him into custody.
The police department has made
They grabbed his arm and he tensed his arm. Yeah, I wonder why.
Clear. I did not, in fact, make any quick movements like the police officer claims I did. So the police officer was lying, but not fully, because I did tense my arm. However, he lunges at me extremely fast before he even touches me. So how could he even know that I was tensing my arm before he even grabs me? That doesn't make any sense. There's only
He's also not even grabbing any muscles that you can be tensing in the first place. He's grabbing your wrist, and you're a skinny guy like me. Like, this is... I can't really feel fucking anything, right? I mean, like...
Solution. This police officer has psychic powers, and he could tell that my arm was tensing up before grabbing me.
He knew.
However, this makes no sense, because if the police officer did truly have psychic powers, he would have known that we were not the thieves, Josh and Brandon were the thieves. So this can't be the case either. I'm trying to have an open mind with these different possibilities of what this could be, but literally the only outcome left is that this police officer injured me for no reason. However, the police have another response to this of why I must be lying.
In the X-ray image displayed by Mr. Snyder in that video, a small L is visible in the upper right-hand corner of the X-ray.
I see a large L in the
middle
middle
screen. The L indicates the image is that of the left shoulder. The video shows Lieutenant Adamson handling Schneider's right arm during the arrest.
Yes, the stock footage I used to show what a dislocated shoulder is, an image that's clearly not mine, because I didn't go to the hospital, I went to jail, so how could I have taken this picture? But anyways, the stock image I used is of a left shoulder when my shoulder that got injured was my right shoulder. When I was editing this, I like to think highly of my audience, that they would have known that this was a stock image and I wouldn't have to spoon feed every tiny detail to my audience. But now I realize that there's another portion of my audience called the American Fork Police Department that maybe I do have to spoon feed every single piece of information to. So I'm going to use this as constructive criticism, and every single episode going forward now that I know that the American Fork Police Department's watching, I will be forced to spoon feed every single detail. As a professional,
I mean, yeah, I thought that was his. I thought that was his shoulder as well. I did. I mean, like this is the kind of stuff where it's like making a distinction without a difference. It's like, this is what people like this try to do, is that they try to find like one inconsistency and then try to reverse into everything else is inconsistent, when everything that they're doing is inconsistent except for maybe one thing that they think is true. It's like a massive distortion.
Blackliner. Dislocating my shoulder is almost a monthly thing for me.
Yeah.
The whole weight of my arm is just on this bone.
Oh my God.
Boon.
3 days before I got arrested, I had a really bad ski accident where I had a really bad dislocation of my shoulder, and any movement at all would have dislocated it. So I will say here, I don't think that the police officer was purposely trying to injure me. I think to a normal person, this would have been fine. But for me in particular, this was not good, but it was still unjustified. And the police officer was just making up.
It's obvious that the police were trying to be aggressive and manhandle him in order to scare him into behaving a certain way. That's obviously what was happening.
Excuse.
I don't see how this is even a conversation.
Making up an excuse to defend it. Another thing I find shocking is the chief of police, even after reviewing the dash cam footage, says that we ran a stop sign.
Richardson initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle for failing to stop before the stop line at a stop sign and failing to stop completely at that stop sign.
The chief of police looked at this video and said, we ran a stop sign. And now he's using that to say,
let's watch that again.
Looked at this video and said, we ran a stop sign.
Wow.
And now he's using that to say, this was a legal traffic stop. The police officers did nothing wrong.
It wasn't even a rolling stop. That was not a rolling stop. That was just like, I'm sorry, if that's a rolling stop, all I do are rolling stops. Like that is more than enough. There was nobody else in the area. It's obvious that they were trying to do this. Like, what are we doing playing games? They have ill intent. They're trying to catch him on anything. That's what they're doing.
At this point, we thought the best thing to do was to take Josh to court so he can be legally accountable for the crimes he committed. However, to do that, we are first required to serve him court papers. So we did what the law told us to do. I got a process server, and we went to his house to do this the legal way. However, Josh did not want to do this the legal way.
He called the police.
Instead, called the police on us.
Joshua Johnson contacted police and reported he was going to shoot someone as a result of the ongoing harassment. Multiple officers immediately responded to the area.
Josh was so scared of going to court that he would rather shoot us than accept these court papers. Josh's logic here is that if he can murder the process server and if he can murder me, then he can get away with his crimes because there'll be no one to sue him in court. However, sadly for Josh, murder is illegal. And now he just admitted his plans to the police officers. The American Fork Police should at least be arresting Josh for trying to use murder as a way to get out of court. But sadly, for some reason, they arrested me instead.
Am I being arrested? You're under arrest right now. Really?
Something about this seems off, and all of the answers are in the body cam footage. However, they redacted all the body cam footage. So this is where I think if we all come together as a community, we can somehow convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this footage so we can find out why they arrested me and not the guy who threatened to murder me. However, the American Fork Police does not want to unredact the footage right now, and now have made up a new excuse of why I was the one justified being arrested.
What's the reason?
Officer Sumbot contacted the Marion County Circuit Court in Oregon to verify the legitimacy of the paperwork. The court confirmed that the case was indeed legitimate, but that papers had already been served and no hearing date had yet been scheduled.
The police department said the reason they arrested me and not Josh this day is because they called to confirm if this was a real court case, and they said it was real. However, the papers have already been served. And now I'm doing this solely to get YouTube content. And if that's true, I would like to see footage of it. They released all the raw footage, and that part doesn't seem to be in the raw footage.
It's already been to court, or are you allowed to tell me kind of where they're at with the case?
There is no hearing date set, and there hasn't been a hearing in the case yet. All I see is the claim that was filed. I don't see proof of service or anything. The hearing wouldn't be set until a response is filed by defendant.
Okay, so the defendant needs to be served with papers before the case will, I guess, start?
Yes.
Okay.
So they literally just lied. So it's not even like there's any ambiguity here. They just straight up said, you know, it's blue, but it was red. Holy fuck. Like, I expected there to be like, you know, okay, well, they're not going to, you know, it was like ambiguous. No, this isn't ambiguous at all. They just straight up fucking lied. Wow.
Okay, thank you for your help.
Holy shit.
That's all for today. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, bye.
Right here, the police officer admits that it is March 10th.
On March 10th, 2026.
However, you can see here that Josh doesn't get served until 3 days later, March 13th. So how could Josh have already been served on March 10th if he didn't get served until March 13th?
What a lie.
Unless Josh is a time traveler. There's only one way to clear this all up. American Fork Police Department, show me the time machine. So now they say that I have done all the check marks which constitute stalking. Let's go through them.
Individual commits stalking if the individual intentionally or knowingly engages in a course of conduct directed at a specific individual.
So yes, I did do an action that was targeted at a specific individual, but that's what's required by the court if I want to take someone to court. If someone steals your stuff and you go through the legal process to take them to court, it is not considered stalking. I have a right as an American to sue him.
Is reckless as to whether that course of conduct would cause a reasonable person to fear for the individual's own safety or the safety of another.
The second check mark is that if a reasonable person would be scared. The police are claiming that since this action made Josh scared, this check mark is complete. However, they've completely forgotten about the term reasonable. As we can see, Josh is not a reasonable person. This is someone...
It's beyond that, in my opinion. He didn't even try to engage in a way that was stalking in the first place. He's trying to serve him legal papers. Like, there's no other alternative. And even the police said they were going to give it to him. Like, there's so many things wrong with this. It's insane. The police even served him the legal papers and he refused them, which a refusal of service is still considered a response in Utah. And that would be sufficient enough for them to continue on with the trial that would lead to a default judgment. So what's funny is that, like, it's already over to begin with. We already looked this up.
One who multiple times has tried to silence someone by accusing them of being on heroin.
Here's the crazy thing. They told me that they took over that location because the owners were using the location to fund their heroin addiction.
What?
Yeah, and that's how they took it over, and saying they had like a pigeon in there that was crapping all over the Legos, and it smelled bad, all this stuff.
This is someone who threatened to murder me just for trying to serve him papers. This is not a reasonable person. It is not reasonable to threaten to murder someone just for serving papers. A reasonable person would accept the papers, so that second checkbox does not meet the requirements. I even tried explaining this to one of the police officers early on.
How'd that
What
go?
the law says is if the average person would feel unsafe by our behaviors, so I think he's feeling unreasonably unsafe. A reasonable person would not feel unsafe in the situation. Well, I can say the same thing. I feel unsafe trying to conduct business with him, and he calls the police on me to hide. I feel unsafe because of that. Because we had a 3-hour search in our car. He said we had heroin in our car yesterday. We had a 3-hour search in our car. That makes me feel unsafe. I think that's reasonable for me to feel unsafe. It's not reasonable for him to feel unsafe.
So Josh is actually the one who said he was going to murder me if I take him to court. But now
That's good.
I'm the one that's being looked into for threatening to murder Josh. How does this make any sense?
Mr. Johnson alleged that Mansell had hired Benjamin Snyder to harass, stalk, vandalize the store, threaten to murder the manager of the store.
Now let's go to the heroin claim. We got pulled over by the police.
That's a lot.
And they claimed that we had heroin on us.
This officer is going to conduct the search of your person because the substances in the vehicle. Really?
Most of this footage is redacted, so again, there's a big mystery of what happened. Can we all come together and convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this so we can find out the truth? However, what the police is claiming now is that they did not get a call saying that we had heroin on us. Instead, they could just tell from the second we pulled over that our eyes were glossy.
They could tell that you were on heroin because they could see that you were on heroin. Oh, okay.
During the interaction, Officer Fraughton indicated he believed Shaw's eyes appeared glossy and expressed concern regarding possible impairment.
If we look back on the raw footage, this is what the police officer said his first interaction with us was like.
Good with these guys being able to drive?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't see anything clear as day with Tyler that I noticed.
What's the goal of...
Right now? Yeah, I was gonna scare him a little bit and let him go is all I really was gonna do.
Do we have charges, or are we just tired of them being annoying?
Do we have charges, or are we just trying to make some bullshit up? Oh my God. And this is what they didn't redact. Think about that. So they didn't redact this. Think about how totally crooked and bullshit it must be, the stuff that they had to get rid of. Oh my God.
It seems hard to take what the chief of police is saying seriously because so far almost everything he said is a lie. So the only way we can actually find out the truth is if we unredact everything.
Yeah.
We already know the victim's name is Joshua.
It's what I've always said. The people who are fighting to have less information are usually lying to you or trying to take advantage of you. It's just another example of that.
Johnson. Why do we have to keep that protected? His name is already out there. None of these redactions are protecting anything except for the police. And now I want to acknowledge my friend Sheldon's arrest.
The group stated they were supporting a GoFundMe campaign for a dying man. One of the individuals, later identified as Sheldon Norcross. Officer Richardson then decided to seize Norcross's phone, pending the approval of a search warrant, in order to preserve potential evidence and prevent the deletion or alteration of any data. According to Officer Richardson's report, when Norcross was informed that the phone was going to be seized, Norcross immediately began manipulating the device.
The police officer claims...
Manipulating the device. You mean locking the device so they can't access it without a search warrant? Like, this is such a crazy, crazy vocabulary switch.
That Sheldon was arrested because he opened his phone to start deleting evidence. However, we can clearly see in the footage, Sheldon's thumb is heading towards that lock button to lock his phone. His phone was open when he pulled it out, and the phone was transitioning from on to off, not from off to on. From this response, it almost seems like the police officers didn't even watch the video. So So American Fork Police Department.
Well, it's very obvious that they don't even really care about being accurate about this. They don't even care about making sure that their story aligns with what the publicly available information is. And the reason why is that they think they're going to completely get away with it and there not to be any accountability. And I think that's the biggest and the most annoying thing about it, is that the fact that they're so sloppy and so lazy about this because they think that they're completely immune to any consequences. That's what's so fucking annoying.
I'm your teacher. Here's your homework. First off, learn the facts of what actually happened.
Yeah, just watch
Second
your own
off,
videos.
Stop lying about the facts. No one's believing it. The third thing is unredact the audio that makes the police look bad. Some of the best lawyers in the United States are reaching out to me right now, so eventually this is going to get released. Wouldn't you just like to get this over with sooner rather than dragging this out? The more we drag this out, the more content we get, so this only benefits me to drag this out. It doesn't benefit you. If you unredact the illegally redacted parts now, you'll win over audience support much faster. It's kind of funny because a lot of you guys probably think I'm like trying to like make fun of this other cop by how he was talking.
Brother, you mind turning up the volume? Holy, it's actual ASMR. Wow. I cannot really hear him. Why is he whispering?
No, I'm actually just like super sick right now. I haven't been sleeping because I'm trying to get out part 3 as fast as I can. And that's caused me just to like stay up all night, every night and not sleep. And now I'm sick and have no voice. But yeah, I guess it kind of, I don't know why that police officer was talking with such a low, quiet voice, but that's why I am, at least. I wasn't making fun of him. I literally am just genuinely sick. But if you want to see...
Is he still in Mexico?
Part 3, subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/recklessben. Part 3 will be up there very soon. Part 2, I'm only dealing with misdemeanors, but Part 3 is when they start accusing me of felonies, so it gets insane. But yeah, stay tuned.
God.
I'm going to crank out videos in the meantime until Part 3 is done. But thanks for all the support, and let's find Brian's Legos.
Wow. Bro, like, what a bunch of fucking bullshit. So they just made everything up. So again, make sure to give Ben a sub. We are going to look at the update from Patreon. So we are caught up with this situation and we are looking at everything in real. They're suing the CEO. I know, we're going to look at that right now, okay? And yeah, take a look. Make sure to give it a sub. I think Ben is going to hit 1 million subs probably by tomorrow, if not the next day. And I think this is completely deserved. We need more people like Ben that are holding these companies and these assholes accountable. And also these police officers. We need our police officers. We need to have law enforcement. And to have these piece of shit pigs sitting there making up bullshit, lying, inventing fake charges, trying to scare people into leaving, siding with businesses over a dying old man. I mean, again, this is the reason why you need internal investigations. This, and you know what really makes me mad, is it gives all of those fucking crusty parasites that say that they hate police, ACAB, all cops are bastards. You know what I really fucking hate? Is it makes them right. It makes them right, and they should never be right because they're retards. But every once in a while, these pigs go out there and start turning the law enforcement into effectively another private security force. That's what makes me more mad than anything about this, is the fact that you have these clowns doing it. And I am going to watch, we are going to look at the Patreon CEO, okay? We are going to do that. Let's take a look at it. I'm assuming if I just search this, the first thing that's going to come up. Okay. So...
Dear Creator Community,
all right.
My name is Jack.
Here we go. So this is the response, and this is the owner of Patreon. That's my understanding. Here we go. John Patreon. That's right. Let's take a look at it. Pineapples, bro? After this, we're going to do pineapples.
Dear Creator Community, my name is Jack Conti, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Patreon. On May 29th, Patreon received an official takedown request filed by Bricks and Minifigs for media and accounts related to Reckless Ben and an ongoing dispute regarding a local Lego consignment issue. This is the verified complaint with exhibits. This is the request for immediate content removal pursuant to temporary restraining order. And this is the motion for the temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction. So after an extensive review and investigation by Patreon's Trust and Safety team, we have in fact, unfortunately determined that Bricks and Minifigs can stuff it. We're keeping Ben's page up. And if Bricks and Minifigs doesn't like that, they can sue us. Patreon out.
Wow. Wow. God damn. Holy shit, what a guy. What a fucking guy. So he just says that again. Yeah, TLDR, my lawyers are better than your lawyers. Patreon. Yeah, and also, by the way, Patreon is my understanding is like a much bigger company, right? And that's it. Galaxy-based behavior. Yeah, this is awesome, man. I'm happy to see that. Bricks and Scams is worth like 40 mil. Patreon's worth 800 million. Yeah, I mean, I wonder. And also, by the way, they have to say this because if the idea is that a company can just send a some sort of like legal paperwork and then Patreon shuts you down, that's going to make people afraid to use Patreon. So, like, you have to understand that, like, this is a huge advertisement for his service, for him reaffirming that we are actually on your side as the creator, we care about you, etc. So, like, he's making the right decision with this. Absolutely. It's totally the right decision. What about Tyler Oliveira? I mean, again, like, my understanding is that the Jews might have more money than the Mormons, but I guess we'll find out, right? And who knows also, like, I don't even know how they got it taken down. And also, by the way, that's a great point. Why don't we ask him why they took down Tyler Oliveira's, right? I mean, I think that's a good question. And so, yeah, anyway, a huge PR and General W. Yeah, massive, massive W. And again, like what they're trying to do is they're trying to just simply go and shut down any form of independent journalism or accountability because they can't stand to be held accountable. I think that's really what's happened. And I think it's embarrassing. It's fucking ridiculous. And I'm glad that finally there are companies standing up to this. This is awful. I'll link you guys this video here, okay? And then I've got to we will get the pineapples and we're going to try those out, okay, guys? We're going to try those out, and we're going to see what happens. Can Lego go after BAM? I think Lego should. If Lego called them and said, like, hey, we don't like what's going on here. This is damaging our brand. If you want to maintain a relationship, you've got to sort this out. Like, that would be the silver bullet, by the way. And I would be okay with that. That would be good. The only thing that would bother me about this is the issue that I would have, is that, like, if that did happen, I'd cut ties with them completely. They can't. They're the biggest distributor. I mean, again, don't forget chef hat. I don't have a chef hat, right? Make sure you use a fork. I will. I'm going to use a fork. It's damaging Lego. It is. It's damaging Lego. It's making them look really bad. Lego can take their license if they don't mediate. Oh, yeah. I'm assuming that they probably have a clause for arbitration. That's probably what you're trying to say. I don't think that they want to do that. They probably don't want to do that. It's not beneficial for them at all. So they're probably going to try to avoid doing that entirely. So, yeah, I'm not really expecting to see that happen, but I mean, who the fuck knows?